It felt like another ordinary Sunday in the Superdome, the lights blinding, the noise deafening, that heartbeat of hope pulsing through every fan wearing black and gold. The Saints needed something, anything, to spark life into a season slipping away. But before they could even settle in, the stadium fell silent. It wasn't a touchdown, not even a turnover, it was something far worse. You could hear it in the hush that swept across the stands. One play, one carry. And just like that, another dream season in New Orleans took a brutal hit. Smash that subscribe button, drop a like, and comment below. This community runs on real fans like you. Because the name on everyone's lips, the player lying on the turf with teammates circling in disbelief, was Kendre Miller. The rookie running back, who had quietly become one of the Saints' brightest young pieces, is now out for the season with a torn ACL. The injury came on his very first carry against the Chicago Bears, a run that ended not with contact but catastrophe. It's the kind of cruel twist this team can't seem to escape, another chapter in a season that feels cursed before it's even half over. Sources confirmed that Miller's MRI revealed the full extent, a complete ACL tear, effectively ending his 2025 campaign before it ever truly began. And it hurts not just because Miller was producing, but because he was emerging. Through 6 weeks, he'd logged 193 rushing yards and a touchdown, averaging over 4 yards per carry, more efficient than Alvin Kamara himself. He was becoming that perfect balance, young legs behind a veteran star, fresh energy complementing experience. But now, the depth chart is thinner than ever. Kamara stands alone as the only proven back left in New Orleans, with rookie Devin Neal just 3 carries on the season, now 1 snap away from action. What's worse is that this injury doesn't just change the Saints' offense, it changes their entire identity. The whispers about Kamara being on the trade block, they're gone now. Any hope of reshaping this roster through a blockbuster move just died with Kendre's knee. And that leaves New Orleans standing at a crossroads, stuck between chasing wins and bracing for what's quickly becoming a lost season. The news hit the Saints' locker room like a gut punch. Players have seen too much of this before, one of their brothers going down, the uncertainty that follows, the shift in tone that ripples through the building. And for Kendre Miller, this isn't just another setback. It's a roadblock in what was supposed to be his breakout year. After flashes of promise in his rookie campaign, 2025 was the year he'd earned Sean Payton comparisons from fans and coaches alike: tough, elusive, the kind of runner who could take over a drive. Now all of that progress freezes in place. The tape tells a painful story. All 22 footage shows the hit from the outside, a defender collapsing onto Miller's left leg, the knee bending awkwardly inward. Medical analysts online guessed at first it might be an MCL sprain or meniscus tweak, but deep down everyone knew. The dreaded valgus moment, the unnatural twist, the kind that ends seasons. When the MRI confirmed the ACL tear, it wasn't shock, it was heartbreak. And now all eyes turn to Alvin Kamara. The veteran back has been here before, carrying the offense on his shoulders, trying to spark life into drives that too often stall behind shaky quarterback play and inconsistent blocking. But this time feels different. Kamara's 9 years into his career, and while he's still one of the most dynamic dual-threat backs in football, there's only so much pounding one player can take. With Miller gone, Kamara's workload is about to skyrocket. We could see 20, maybe 25 touches a game every week, and that's a dangerous game for a team already running on fumes. The ripple effects go beyond stats. Miller's injury effectively kills any chance of a Kamara trade before the deadline. League insiders had already whispered about playoff teams calling the Chargers the Patriots, teams desperate for a spark in the backfield, but those conversations end now. Kamara isn't just their star, he's their survival plan. The Saints can't afford to move him, not with Miller gone and Devin Neal still too raw to shoulder a heavy load. That's the cruel irony of it all. Miller's injury locks the Saints into a holding pattern, not quite good enough to chase the postseason, not quite bad enough to tear it down. And as the rest of the NFC South starts to heat up, New Orleans is in danger of being left behind. The Buccaneers still look like the class of the division, but Carolina and Atlanta are catching fire. Bryce Young has finally found his rhythm in Charlotte, throwing 11 touchdowns with only 2 picks over his last 3 games. Atlanta's rookie quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., is unlocking Drake London and Kyle Pitts like never before, while Bijan Robinson looks every bit like a top 5 running back. The division everyone mocked in September suddenly looks competitive again, except for the Saints. And that's what makes this injury sting even more. Because Miller represented hope not just for the backfield but for the future. He was young, ascending, part of the next chapter, and losing him doesn't just weaken the offense, it drains belief. Still, if there's one thing Saints fans know, it's resilience. This city, this team has lived through heartbreak before: Brees' retirement, Peyton's exit, the no call that still haunts New Orleans like a ghost. And yet the Who Dat Nation always finds its way back to the fight. Maybe that's what this season becomes now, not about wins or losses, but about pride. About seeing how this team responds when everything goes wrong. Kamara will carry the load, yes. Derek Carr will keep slinging it. Chris Olave will keep running crisp routes and giving fans something to cheer for. And Kendre Miller, he'll rehab, he'll grind. He'll return stronger, because that's what this city breeds: fighters. It's easy to look at the standings and see a lost season. But if you've ever walked through New Orleans after a Saints win, if you've ever felt that roar echo down Poydras Street, you know one thing for certain: the heart of this team doesn't quit. Not now, not ever. Comment below. This space belongs to everyone who lives and breathes the New Orleans Saints. We're alive, we're loud, and we're just getting started.